Now, for more on the growing basketball markets in China, I'm joined by Brian Berger. Brian's the founder and host of Sports Business Radio. Brian, thanks very much. That was a great piece by Mei Li. I really enjoyed watching that. You know, one of the things about traveling around China, and I just got back from there in late December, all the well-maintained basketball courts in major cities, which you expect, but they are in the smaller ones as well, way out in the rural areas. It's amazing that basketball has caught on so well. Is it simply because of Yao?
I think Yao is a pioneer. He opened up many, many doors to make basketball the most popular sport in China. And the NBA has done such a great job of promoting their game in China as well. I've been to China and I've seen the billboards with the NBA players, and they're very prevalent everywhere you go. But I think Yao is at the center of that. He really unlocked the potential for the NBA in China.
Yeah, it's impossible really to overstate Yao Ming's importance. I think his first game, something like 200 million people in China actually watched it on TV, and his jersey is still an incredible seller over there. I think Mei Li talked about the future, and Jeremy Lin has done a decent amount and remains popular in China right now.
Yeah, and I think going to Toronto, he just signed with Toronto last week. That's going to help his popularity even more. He was in Atlanta, which is a pretty good-sized city, but Toronto is much bigger, has much more of a global presence. So Jeremy Lin has certainly helped open doors in China, but Yao Ming was really the first. And you know, anywhere Yao goes now, he's seen as an NBA ambassador.
Yeah, and he has that wonderful vineyard out in California, too. Now, the NBA's...
He does. I've had his wine. It's very good.
It is good. The NBA's making pilgrimage to China every year now. And at the start of the Lunar New Year here in Washington, D.C., the Wizards wear jerseys emblazoned in Mandarin, and the commissioner of the NBA really sees China as a lucrative market. He's been over there several times. Let's talk about the importance of the NBA, how it views China and the expanding market in a way to just make more and more money.
Well, I think the NBA has 6 offices over in China right now, and it's a very big focal point for them. I would say outside of the United States and Canada, where they have teams, China is probably the next biggest market. If you look at not only the NBA, but the shoe companies and all of the players in the offseason, they go over to China and promote the NBA, they promote themselves and their brands. It's a huge market for them, so I agree.
And also, it's well documented that a lot of NBA teams will make a 4 or 5 city trip and play a bunch of teams. Do you ever see the NBA playing a regular season game in Beijing or Shanghai the same way the NFL does in Europe and in Mexico City right now?
I could see it, but they would have to time it perfectly. That's obviously a long trip from North America, so you'd have to space it out where they've got time before and after that game, much like the NFL does. If they play a game in Europe, they give the team a bye week the following week. I think you'd have to do something similar if you play a regular season game in China.
You know, I have to ask you about Stephon Marbury as well. I came up, I watched him coming up. I'm that old. He had a successful but troubled NBA career. Then he went to China, and man, what a pro sports figure he became. And there's even a play about him out now. What allowed Marbury to succeed and thrive so well in basketball in China?
I think he just has a great personality. He has a lot of pizzazz to his game, and I think the Chinese fans really embraced that. And he was personable with them, too. He went out of his way to get to know them. It wasn't like he just played the games and went home and didn't talk to anybody. So he really embraced China as well. And I've been over to China with NBA players, and it's eye-popping for them how much people love basketball over there. But then also they start thinking in terms of business that all the consumers that are in China and how many shoes they might be able to sell or other things that they do. I know Dwayne Wade and CJ McCollum and people like that have deals with Li Ning. So they love China and they love going over there and they love the fans. But Marbury really resonated with the fans in China.
Quickly, Brian, if you walk through Beijing near CCTV's main headquarters, there is this massive bubble, if you will, a glorified tent. Nike has set up with basketball courts on the inside so people can play in the most urban of environments. And of course, it's right next to the Nike store. So after you play some basketball, you can go in and buy the latest LeBron James shoe or some classic MJs. How is marketing helping drive the popularity?
Oh, I think marketing's helping a lot. And like I said earlier, the shoe companies opening stores in Beijing and Shanghai, bringing the NBA players over during the off season to do tours. They'll stay over there for a week or 2 weeks and get to know the fans. And I've been over there actually with Kobe Bryant and Yao Ming and Steve Nash, and I've seen the reception that they've gotten, and it's huge. But you know, you can't underestimate not only the NBA, what they've done, but the shoe companies, what they've done too, bringing those players over there. And it's really unlike any other U.S. sports league.
Okay, Brian, next time you go over, you have to take me with you. Thanks very much for having some insight, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the game.